So I just got finished watching the Champions League quarterfinal draw, and as you all know by now, Chelsea have drawn Real Madrid in the quarterfinals of the Champions League. And if we're able to win that tie, then we play the winner of Manchester City versus Bayern in the semifinals. My initial reaction to this, first of all, you cannot convince me that these draws ain't rigged, bro. We play Real Madrid in the Champions League for the third consecutive year. You cannot convince me this is not rigged. But my initial reaction, it's not ideal. This is not the ideal draw that you wanted to see if you're a Chelsea fan. I'm not gonna lie. First, you have to play Real Madrid, and then if we are able to beat Real Madrid, then we have Man City or Bayern waiting for us. This is not what I wanted to see when I woke up this morning. It could have been anything else, and it probably would have been better. Like, I'm disappointed. I'm a little bit gutted. I'm a little heartbroken. It's like we play the most difficult ties you could play in the quarterfinals and the semifinals here. I mean, look, at the end of the day, nobody wants to face Real Madrid in the Champions League. And I'm not going to sit here and say it's impossible because we did do it in the semifinals 2 years ago, obviously, when we went on to win the Champions League. But you don't want to face Real Madrid, especially given what happened last year when we made that comeback in the Bernabeu, and then ultimately they kind of came back on us and ultimately won in extra time, which was heartbreaking. I had to rewatch that in the Real Madrid documentary, and I didn't enjoy it any much. So it's one of those things. This is not what you wanted to see if you're a Chelsea fan, but I do think it's possible. I'll go there. I do think it's possible. I mean, we've seen this Real Madrid team. Obviously, they're always a different animal in the Champions League. I'm going to admit that. But in the league this season, when I watched them in La Liga, they at certain moments they don't look unbeatable. You've seen times where you can fluster them in the attack. If you can halt Vinicius Jr., that can stall a lot of their attack. And you know, if I'm trying to, but they are getting healthy though, so it is one of those things. This is obviously not the ideal draw, but it's not impossible for Chelsea to do this. Chelsea have been revitalized recently. We've been playing good football, and our defense has been solid. And it's one of those things. If we're going to take a blueprint for how to beat Real Madrid, I think we look at the Barcelona blueprint because they've been relatively successful against them this season. And it comes down to, can you stop Vinicius Jr.? Barcelona has Ronald Araujo, who pockets Vinicius Jr. every single time. And ultimately, that's why Real Madrid's attack doesn't really look as strong as it normally does, maybe against other sides as it does against Barcelona, because they stop Vinicius pretty much. They make him a null point. So if Chelsea can take a page out of that book and stall Vinicius, make him look like a non-factor, that's our best chance against Real Madrid, because obviously they're going to have a strong midfield. I mean, anytime you have Kroos and Modric in the midfield, would probably Shoumani by then because he's going to be 100% fit. That's an incredible midfield. I can't sit here and say that it's not. It is an absolutely incredible midfield. And I saw against Liverpool, I mean, obviously of the course of two legs, but especially in that second leg, Kroos and Modric, they still look like they're still in their prime. I mean, these two guys are absolutely incredible. And Camavinga was playing way beyond his years. And if Camavinga is there instead of Shoumani, it's still kind of the same point because Camavinga, especially against Liverpool, he looked phenomenal, super class. So we're gonna need N'Golo Kante. That's what I'll say for Chelsea. We're gonna need N'Golo Kante to be back and fit, and I don't know if exactly what we're waiting for at this point. I think he is pretty much fit at this point, so we're gonna need N'Golo Kante if we're gonna beat Real Madrid. Um, but it's possible, you know. The thing that pains me the most, other than drawing Real Madrid in the quarterfinals, is the fact that if we are able to beat Real Madrid, because I don't think it's impossible. I think it's a true, maybe Real Madrid obviously the favorites, especially given how Chelsea have performed in the league this season up to now. Obviously, now we're on a 3-game win streak in all competitions, but it's going to be maybe 60-40 Real Madrid right now. That's probably the percentage split where it's like, okay, that they're the favorites, but not like heavy favorites because, it's the Champions League. Chelsea also have Champions League pedigree. We also always play well in this competition for the most part, and obviously not to the same level as Real Madrid, of course. So, yeah, if it's like 60-40, it's one of those things. If we are still able to win this tie, which it could happen, then we have Man City or Bayern waiting for us, and that's kind of like a slap to the face. Like, That's a final. Like that should be a final. And if Real Madrid goes through and it's Real Madrid versus Man City or Real Madrid versus Bayern, that's a final. You know what I mean? Realistically. And I'm gonna make a video talking about the full Champions League draw. This is mostly just focusing on Real Madrid, Chelsea, and Chelsea's path to the final as a Chelsea fan. But yeah, this is a little bit gutting, a little bit heartbreaking, just because we have the most difficult path you could possibly get. Realistically, it's probably going to be. Let's just say, I'm not saying we're making the final, but hypothetically, if we make the final to Real Madrid, Bayern Munich, Napoli to win the final, I mean that's ultimately. I mean, you want to win the Champions League. Sometimes you have to beat the best. Of course, it's what has to be done. I mean, if you look at 2012, we beat Barcelona, beat Bayern Munich. If you look at 2021, we beat Real Madrid in the semifinals, beat Man City, a very strong Man City team in the final. So if you want to be the best, you have to beat the best. Of course, I'm not denying that. But it is like, damn, like this is going to be tough. Um, can't even deny it. I half wanted to come on here after this draw. I was hoping that I could say, the third is coming home. Chelsea are going to win the Champions League. But I can't even say that, to be honest. I mean, given what I just saw, we have to face Real Madrid and then the winner of Man City and Bayern and then potentially a Napoli in the final. I can't say that the third is coming home. Obviously, I'm going to be hoping that it does, but it's going to be very difficult, extremely, extremely difficult. But yeah, let me know what you think about this draw for Chelsea playing Real Madrid and then having to face Bayern Munich or Man City in the semifinals. Let me know what you think about that. Do you think it's possible? Can Chelsea win the Champions League? Can they beat Real Madrid? Most importantly, because that's what we're mainly focused on here is the quarterfinals. Do you think Real Madrid or Chelsea will go through? Early predictions for this tie. Let me know in the comments down below. But I think without further ado, you can go ahead and check out another video I got coming up on the channel talking about all the matches, but this was mainly just focused on Chelsea. So we thank y'all for checking out this video, and we'll see y'all again for another video soon. Peace.